WXII 12 News at 10 on the Triad CW starts now.
While I am lifting the stay-at-home order, we are shifting to a safer-at-home recommendation.
North Carolina prepares to enter phase 2 of the coronavirus recovery. What's set to reopen and what will still be closed?
Well, the governor said phase 2 starts this Friday. We talked to some local economic leaders as well as business managers and owners about what's to come next.
And find out what you can expect the next time you head out for a haircut during phase 2. These are now legal, or at least they will be Friday at 5. Well, tonight we are learning about cases of coronavirus at the Ashley Furniture facility in Advance, which is in Davie County. A spokesperson for Ashley Furniture Industries says they have confirmed a, quote, handful of associates have reported coming down with COVID-19. The company says there are no reports of transmission of the virus happening within the facility. As a precaution, they've asked workers who may have previously come in close contact with someone who is sick to quarantine at home for the time being. Well, tonight Tyson is releasing the results of coronavirus testing at its plant in Wilkesboro. This was in the news quite a bit over the last week or so.
Yeah, necessarily so. Roughly a fourth of the plant's employees tested positive for COVID-19. Out of about 2,200 employees and contractors, 570 tested positive. Tyson says the majority did not show symptoms. That company says people who test positive receive paid leave and return to work only when they've met criteria from the CDC and from Tyson. Well, a lot of you have reached out to us about cases among workers at HanesBrands. And new tonight, the company tells WXII 12 additional testing of its 164 employees at its warehouse in Rural Hall revealed 15 were infected with the coronavirus. HanesBrands says only 2 of them showed symptoms, and 10 of those 15 workers were already in quarantine based on the first positive case. Contract tracing has started on the other 5, and all operations for employees on this shift have been suspended. Today, Governor Cooper announced that more businesses can reopen in North Carolina. Phase 2 will begin on Friday.
That means you will be able to do things like eat inside of a restaurant and get your hair cut. Those businesses will have to follow strict cleaning and social distancing guidelines, but not all businesses are included in phase 2. Bars are not able to open just yet. We'll break down exactly what phase 2 means in just a moment. First, though, we want to talk about the weather, and there was a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of colors as we take a look at the radar loop right now. Parts of the Piedmont remain under various risks or watches at the moment. Let's head straight to Chief Meteorologist Lainey Pope, who is working from home for us tonight, keeping an eye on the sky and this radar. Lainey.
Yeah, you know what? We have had rain mainly this afternoon and this evening, and it's been quite heavy across the area. Take a look. We have got a flash flood watch that is out for our region. We also have some flood warnings and advisories that are up, specifically in Wilkes, Yadkin, and Surry counties, up into Allegheny, as well as Grayson and Patrick counties, where we have seen easily some 2 to 4 inches of rain over the last couple of days, and an inch of that coming just over the last few hours. So these flood warnings will stay up until just after midnight. You can see until 12:30 for Surry, Wilkes, and Yadkin. For Allegheny, Ash, Grayson, and Wilkes until 12:45 in the overnight. On average, 2 to 3 in the areas that you're seeing there in bright yellow, 1 to 2 in some of the areas that haven't seen as much, shaded in green there on the map. Now, I will tell you that we're seeing less rain, at least than we saw about an hour ago, but we still have some rain coming down. So you can see some wet weather from High Point north and westward towards Stewart, and then some heavier downpours that are just now moving out of the Elk Creek, Virginia area. But there is another batch moving in, and that is to the south. So we're keeping a very close eye on that heavy band of rain you see over Raleigh, as some of that will likely clip our easternmost Triad communities. So that means potentially another inch of rain overnight. So we're concerned about urban flooding, stream creek flooding, as well as river flooding. We'll break this all down for you in more detail coming up.
Lanny, thank you. The virus continues to spread at a growing pace. More than 20,000 people in North Carolina have now tested positive for COVID-19. That's an increase of 422 since yesterday. 14 more families are grieving the loss of loved ones from the virus as well. That includes 2 people from Alamance and someone from Wilkes County. So far, 705 people in North Carolina, all told, have died from COVID-19. If you're looking for overall numbers in your county, you can even search by zip code. We have you covered. We have a breakdown of cases and recoveries where it's all happening right now. You can find that on our website and on our free mobile app, WXII12.com.
And as we mentioned at the top of the newscast, it was the announcement that many of you, as well as business owners, have been waiting months to hear. Phase 2 will officially start on Friday evening, and that means restaurants can reopen their dining rooms and salons and barbershops can see customers again. But getting a table or booking an appointment is going to be different, an experience unlike you're used to. You'll also notice that the executive order has many recommendations as opposed to requirements.
There are certain things that we wanted to codify in the executive order to make sure that we were setting a floor, a minimum that everyone needed to follow. But we have additional guidance and worked with the Restaurant Association very closely on that. It involved everything from how they screen employees and potentially to things like buffets. So we tried to capture all of that in our recommendations.
So let's break down what all Phase 2 means. Restaurants have to limit the number of customers to 50% of their capacity. Tables need to be rearranged so that groups are at least 6 feet apart.
And the restrictions are similar for salons, barbershops, and other personal grooming businesses. But those workers have to wear a face mask when they're within 6 feet of someone else. Indoor gatherings are still limited to 10 people, but up to 25 people will be able to congregate outside.
Bars, nightclubs, gyms, indoor entertainment venues, and public playgrounds will all remain closed.
Religious groups are exempt from the governor's new order. Under Phase 2, they can hold services indoors. However, the governor still recommends these groups follow DHHS guidelines by practicing social distancing and limiting the size of their gatherings.
Businesses anxiously waited to hear the governor's decision on Phase 2 today. For some business owners, it was disappointing news that they will not be allowed to open while they thought they were going to be able to. Others are getting ready to get the ball rolling. Our Brandon Bates joins us live now from downtown Winston-Salem with the next step for some businesses and a look at the impact that the pandemic is having on the economy as a whole. Brandon.
Well, Kenny, if you've been downtown in Winston-Salem, you've noticed it's looked kind of like a ghost town for well over a month. But that could all soon change as some businesses now have the green light coming up on Friday to reopen and let their patrons back in.
Coronavirus has had a large impact on our business.
Since bars and breweries were forced to keep customers out, Wise Man Brewery in downtown Winston-Salem has looked and sounded like this. This canning machine has done most of the work, as glasses are no longer needed. On Wednesday, Governor Roy Cooper announced Phase 2 of the plan to reopen North Carolina will begin on Friday. For breweries across the state like Wise Man, nothing will change.
It's unfortunate that we were kind of left out of that, but I completely understand from a health perspective.
Breweries are not on the list to let customers in, and a taproom manager there says he gets it.
More time spent drinking, the more likely you are to kind of forget some of those rules that are in place for everyone's health.
Economic leaders in Winston-Salem say just because Phase 2 starts doesn't mean businesses in the city can automatically open back up.
It's going to be challenging for some of our businesses to be able to open by Friday. You know, restaurants have to up their food orders. They got to get their staff back.
Dave Hillman is a prime example of that. He owns both Burke Street Pizza Shops, the Quiet Pint Restaurant, and West End Poke. Over the phone, he said only his pizza shops will open this week because there's still a lot that goes into reopening.
Your favorite restaurant, if they're not open on Friday, it may take a little bit of time.
Phase 2 is expected to last 5 weeks. The executive order expires June 26th, and it can be modified at any time. But whenever Phase 3 begins, and places like Wise Man Brewery will likely be able to allow customers back, management says there will be a lot more to think about when that day comes.
What's going to be going on in your head?
I'm going to be freaking out a little bit.
And the manager that you just heard from told me this could be a positive in the long run, at least for Wise Man Brewery. He says this is going to give the staff more time to figure out what's best for the customers and the workers who are returning to make sure everyone remains as safe as possible. Reporting live in Winston-Salem tonight, Brandon Bates, WXII 12 News.
Well, the only thing some restaurant owners were waiting on was the governor's official go-ahead. In Mocksville, restaurant owner Kip Miller says he's ready to open his dine-in service this weekend. He has everything from masks to gloves to thermometers for his employees. And he's changed up the layout to allow for social distancing inside as well. Miller says most importantly, his main job is to make sure that everyone is safe.
I'm thinking this is definitely a positive move for North Carolina, without a doubt. And I just hope everybody will stay safe and, listen to the 6-foot rules and do what they're supposed to do. And I think we'll all make it through this.
Miller says he's expecting to welcome customers back inside early Saturday morning. Well, salons and barbershops are allowed to reopen in phase 2 at 50% capacity if clients are 6 feet apart.
We're chosen based on public health data as well as White House guidance. We cannot look at any one of these metrics in isolation.
That is Christy Bradham. She owns Aracura Salon in Winston-Salem. She tells us going into phase 2 does not alleviate stress, it just redirects it. She says she may hold off on reopening while she gets the supplies she needs together and trains her staff on some new safety protocols.
So our mission originally was, to make people feel like a goddess, or to really take care of our clients and make them feel great. That's become secondary, and our primary mission has now become keeping everyone safe. Our clients and our staff, our families, so that's our #1 priority.
Bradham also says she plans on contacting clients who had appointments first to rebook, and people should still expect to wait a little while longer before coming inside for services.
Gyms are not included in the step of easing restrictions under phase 2. New tonight, the YMCA of Northwest North Carolina says it is disappointed with this decision, but hopes to soon share details about pool operations and outdoor group exercises. It's also finalizing details for day and overnight camps. Day camp will begin June 1st and late June for YMCA Camp Haynes.